Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my review of the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra after using it for a little bit over 6 months. Let's go ahead and jump in. First things first, I still absolutely love the design and I have zero scratches on this thing. No scratches, no dings, none of that. It just sits in the case until, of course, I take it out to just admire the beauty of it. To me, this is the best looking phone on the market right now. Now, I do understand that this is subjective, of course, but I personally feel this is such a fantastic design, and even Samsung knows that. We've already seen some leaks of the upcoming Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and it literally looks just like this one. So they're essentially doing the same thing that the Apple is doing with the iPhone lineup, right? So the iPhone 14 looks just like the iPhone 13. The iPhone 14 Pro has some slight changes here and there, but the 14 is exactly the iPhone 13, except it has a different chip. But anyway, so going back to the phone here, so far, fantastic phone. It is actually my main phone. I have the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4, but right now I actually put it back in the box. So in terms of my rotation, it's still the S22 Ultra along with my 13 Pro Max here. Anyway, fantastic looking display, of course. Even though the iPhone 14 Pro Max is out there and people say that because of that 2000 nits that the 14 Pro Max has, it's a better display. I personally prefer curved displays, and this one falls in that category. On top of that, this is an OLED display, and just the quality of it is beyond imagination. It is absolutely gorgeous, right? So watching movies and playing games, watching videos, YouTube, whatever the case is, on this display is truly an experience. While, we can have some objective ways of measuring, the specs of this versus the specs of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and the display itself is already spec'd out and it's beautiful. I think this is the best in the market, despite having the iPhone 14 Pro Max out there and running. But anyways, we already familiar with what this guy is loaded with. We have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 here. We're talking way better heat management on here when compared to the previous generation, right? Some devices out there running the, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 are still experiencing some issues with heat management, but here I haven't encountered anything. Obviously, depending on what you do, the phone itself will get warm. Nothing so alarming that you can start seeing performance suffering. So far, performance is still top notch. In fact, I'm planning on making a video on whether you should buy this, which comes with an S Pen, or buy a tablet that has an S Pen and then buy a phone. That just shows you how good this phone is, where you can actually compare it to buying two devices. But anyway, speaking of the S Pen, of course, I have to admit that I don't use this as much as I would like to, simply because, well, two main reasons. The first reason is because I have large hands, very large hands. And this little toothpick is not as comfortable as, let's say, using a regular S Pen like what I have with any of my Samsung tablets, right? And the second reason is if I'm out and I'm going on a trip, or if I'm with the family and I'm gonna be away from home for a little while, I always grab a tablet. And it's generally one of my Samsung tablets, right? It could be the S8 or the S8 Plus or the S8 Ultra. I always grab one, and each one of those comes with an S Pen. So I find myself, anytime I have to take down notes or sign documents, whatever I'm doing that requires for me to use a pen or a stylus, I do so on one of those devices. This, if I'm in a grocery store or if I'm somewhere where I need to jot down some notes really quick, I go ahead and do that. But that doesn't change the fact that this is a very powerful tool for people who actually make use of this, right? There are people who live and die by the S Pen found on the Samsung Galaxy Note. They have this, it's literally a computer. They don't need to carry anything extra, right? So whatever they're able to do on their tablet, at least most things that they're able to do, they're also able to do it on here, except this is a lot more portable. They just stick this in their pocket and they're ready to roll. But anyway, so going back to my user experience over the past 6 months, it's been my main device. You may know this, I rotate devices all the time. So anytime I rotate, I go to the, Z Flip 4 or the Z Fold, I always go back to this as the main device. And I have two SIMs. So even though I'm rotating, I may end up with two, Android devices. There were times where I was actually using this and the Z Flip, and then there are times where I'm using this and the Pixels or any any of my Pixel phones. Now, in terms of the camera, of course, this is still top notch. This is an amazing camera. What you have here is a 108 megapixel wide. That is insane. You do have a 10 megapixel telephoto and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Those specs are just insane, right? I went to the recital, to my daughter's recital, and even though I was sitting in the back, I could still get pictures of her so close. Battery, still good. I can still see well over a day with my battery life here. I'm still looking at 7 hours in terms of, SOT, right? Battery is going to be subjective to your type of usage. If you're a power user, you should still have good battery life on here. And if you don't want to tap to all of that Quad Plus extra features that make the display look as amazing as it does with that, crazy 120 hertz refresh rate, you could just make some changes here and there. And Samsung has a way to make it so that, the battery will last longer, right? So to optimize your battery life. And of course, you also have a way to preserve your battery life so that it doesn't degrade too fast over time in the way you charge this. So they have all of those features loaded in here. And these are things that you should make sure that you use in order to, save your battery, especially if you are the type that hold on to their phones for a long time. Now, I did go all over the place with this update here. If we want to just go ahead and recap, this is a good moment to pick up this guy here, obviously, because it's been out for a good, 8 months or so. So as we're coming close to the upcoming Samsung Galaxy S23 rather, Ultra, this would be a good time for you to pick up this guy here. It's a fantastic phone. I'm going to make sure that I have some links in the description if you decide to go ahead and grab one. They generally have deals going on here, so I'm going to track the best deals and make sure that I put those in a link in the description. But anyway, so to recap, the phone has been holding up very, very well. I also take very good care of my phone. So as long as you take care of your phone, 6 months later, it's going to look just like mine here. Battery is still going to be top notch. Performance, yeah, it won't even budge. It's still going to be very, very good in terms of cameras. Very good camera, very nice camera quality. What are we talking? Video and actual pictures. Still very, very good. S Pen still works very well. I don't use it as much, but even people who use it heavily have not reported any issues with it or saying anything to the lines of it doesn't work or it doesn't function as well as it used to. So still top notch. So 6 months later, after using the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, you shouldn't be expecting anything bad. It should still be going very, very strong. This is a phone that's set to last a very long time. It's a premium build, and you can tell even just holding the phone, it's a solid phone that if you take good care of, it will last a very long time. But that's just my take there. And plus, it offers extremely good value. So if you are looking for top-notch flagship phone that's going to offer you a ton of value, per your dollar, this is one to grab. But anyway, let me know your take in the comment section. I'm going to catch you in that comment section like always. So don't forget to like, of course, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, of course, share. If you know anyone who will be interested or who is in the market for this phone here, I'm going to catch you in the next video as well. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.